Kaiju number 8? More like Kaiju number 6, am I right? Please keep watching, don't tune out. Welcome everyone who is not tuned out because of that awful joke. My name is Dylan and this is Class 1A bringing you another My Hero Academia Vigilantes chapter. This week we have chapter 115, Conclusion. Spoiler alert, that's a lie. We open the chapter once again in the number 6 versus Koichi fight. But this time, number 6 has combined the explosive power of the bomber Anons to form a giant fire kaiju. Kaiju form, kaiju form, kaiju form, kaiju form. Just when Koichi thinks he is out of the fire, he begins to realize he is hurt pretty bad. Broken legs, broken ribs, and countless other small injuries. He quickly ducks into a parking garage just to catch a breath, but number 6 is outside waiting for him. Okay, so Koichi is hurt pretty bad here, and he thinks that All Might is going to come rescue him, but honestly, I don't think All Might is coming. I think this is where his friends are really going to shine. And so speaking of All Might, number 6 has totally taken his form here. This is the first panel you can really see it, but it's pretty hard to deny this is just All Might's form. You can see just like in the shape and the silhouette of him, and also like just the hair strands coming out, that's like classic All Might. While Koichi is safe for the moment, number 6 is ready to unleash all he has, because he is running at 10,000% right now, and he's going to go out in a blaze of glory, taking the crawler with him. We once again see his iconic scar across his face. This time it has penetrated all the way to his skull. So this is such a wild series of panels right here. I mean, like, number 6 right now is just a nervous system, skull, and fire energy just completely surrounding him. And he has barely any time left. Then number 6's skull blasts open and gives into his destruction form. Truly a giant bomb ready to destroy everything in its path. This is the conclusion the chapter has been referring to, the final form of number 6 that will bring destruction to everything. Now, right here we see like a silhouetted All Might, but I don't think he is coming here. For those who read really fast like I did, I had to actually go back and read this and figure out what was actually happening. This was just AFO like kind of narrating what's been going on, and like he's just referring to All Might here, so that's what we see, a little silhouetted version of him. This isn't actually him around the corner about to save the day. And finally, we end the chapter in another cliffhanger. 6, in his destruction form, smashes the parking garage Koichi was hiding in to pieces. Okay, so things are looking pretty bleak for Koichi here. I don't think we see any more heroics out of him. No more special moves, no more things he's just going to pull out of his back pocket, no quirk evolutions going forward. But I think this is where we see the Naruhodo crew really shine and step in to save the day. I mean, for All Might to step in just like wouldn't make really any much sense here. I mean, I've said from the beginning that I don't think he's coming. I still don't think he's going to come. If he does, it's going to be at the very end, maybe to clean up stuff, but he is not here to save the day. This isn't his story, and honestly, it would just be anticlimactic. But actually, for real this time, I mean it. I know I've said this for the past, like, I don't know, 6 months. This is where we actually end the chapter next. Like, it has to be the end coming soon. Like, they said this is his final form. It's like a form that he like can't sustain for a really long time. Like, it has to be the end in the next chapter or two. And plus, like, the end of the year is coming up, so it just makes sense to end it here. And if we look at like the chapter to volume kind of ratio, we're just ripe to end this volume like in a chapter or two, so it should be ending pretty nicely there. But then that leaves us in a weird spot of where we would still need like 8 more chapters of like epilogue or some story that's still going on to round out the final volume so that we can bring the series to its end, because it can't just end in like 3 chapters, because then the volume math doesn't really work out there. So regardless, I think what's going to come next is there's going to be a shift in the story to like whatever the next part is. It's not a new arc or anything like that. It's just shifting to whatever the next version of this story is going to be. I think that means the end of whatever's going on with number 6. He's going to go to the wayside and we're going to have some sort of story, probably a follow-up with Pop and whatever's going on with her as she's like in the hospital, and that is going to lead itself into the conclusion of the story, which is the final volume, and the series is probably going to end there. And obviously this is us just doing chapter and volume math behind the scenes to try to line up things a little bit correctly. It could stand that this goes on for like another 2 years. It could very well happen. I just don't think that is likely. But going actually back to the actual story of it, I think the Naruhodo crew is like totally going to come in here. It just makes sense for them to come in here. We've seen them kind of like lingering behind in the scenes, slowly catching up to Koichi. It just makes sense for them to pop in here and actually save the day. Plus, it like goes back to the idea of like, you know, friendship wins in the end. Like, I think that's like kind of like the whole idea behind the Vigilantes, is that this whole crew is going to come together rather than just one person showing out all the heroics. But we're going to see what's going to happen when the next chapter drops, which is going to be on Christmas Eve. So if you've been on your best behavior, you've sat through this entire year-long fight, and you were very patient, maybe, just maybe, we'll get the real conclusion to this fight. But until next time, my name is Dylan. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next class.